And action.
Hi.
So, name?
Yes, sorry. I'm already messing up this interview.
My name is Maeve. I'm currently a junior, going to be a senior. I joined the Players because I had done musicals in high school, and I like to surround myself with chaotic people. So once I found the Players, I was like, best of both worlds, baby.
Name's Aiden Connolly. I'm a freshman. I joined the Players on a complete whim. Never thought theater would be like something I would enjoy, and got asked to read some lines for Carrie, and it worked out, and now we're here, so stuck in.
You're ruining my life.
Hi, my name is Brendan Bohan. I'm a sophomore at Iona, and it's a weird story how I joined the Players. I was supposed to actually play soccer for Iona. I saw the Little Shop of Horrors, poster, and I was like, oh, let's try it, because I wasn't getting any leeway with the soccer team, so I was like, let's try this. I got a call back, and I was elated. I was so excited. And then when I got to the callbacks, it was super nerve-wracking. It was so scary. But I met a bunch of people, and then eventually I got, Oren in Little Shop of Horrors, which was awesome. And then I met, my girlfriend Andy.
I'm Jack Rosetta. I'm a sophomore currently, and I joined the Players because I have a passion for theater, and not only that, I just wanted another sense of family when I left from high school to college.
Okay, so my name is Sam Gardino. I'm a freshman, ongoing senior. Aiden Connolly can suck my ass. And that's on period. The reason I joined the Players is actually kind of cute. So when I was looking at schools to come to, I was kind of conflicted between Iona and another school, and in the mail I got an invitation to come see Mamma Mia, and I came to the show, and it was really awesome, and just seeing everyone on stage just made me want to come to the school. So the Players was actually the reason that I came to Iona. And Charlie!
Okay, I'm Olivia. I'm a freshman. I just joined this past semester because I wanted to be more involved and meet more people, and I was already friends with Olivia Berry. I was talking to Charlie one night, and I was like, you want to know what? Let's just fuck around and do this. It's probably not going to go well for either of us. We're probably both going to get cut. And now here we are.
My name is Charlie J. Garcia. I'm a freshman currently at Iona College. Why I joined the Players? Funny story, right? So I was really trashed one day. I started singing some musical song. Do I remember? No. But they were like, oh, you're really good. You should go try out for Grease with us. I was like, okay, why not?
My name is Sydney Zanka. I'm a sophomore. I'm a marketing major.
Oh my god.
So I joined the Iona Players. Devon, I can't stand him. So I joined the Players because I did musicals in high school. My directors are like, let's throw her into every ugly, stupid part.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm a sophomore. And the reason why I joined the Iona Players was, like most people, I've done theater in high school, and I wanted to find the love for it and the group of people for it. So I did that. At the involvement fair, I signed my name up, and I came out, and I met this amazing crackhead group of people.
My name is Seamus Townsend. I am a sophomore. I remember actually very clearly why I joined the Players. I told myself that I wasn't going to do theater in college because I did it in high school. And it's not that they were bad people, but they were just such geeks, and they couldn't help it. But I didn't get along with them like that. I was going into Spelman, and I saw the poster for Little Shop, which was the show they were doing in the fall, or we were doing in the fall. And I had just done Little Shop my senior year of high school, a few months before that, and I did it, and obviously I'm still here, so.
NJ, junior. Why? Because, I did theater in high school, and I wanted to really do it again here, and I thought that as a transfer, one of the best ways to get to know people better was to do something that I like to do, and I'm really glad that I was able to meet such a great group of people.
My name's Deirdre. I'm a junior,
and I joined the Players because I did theater all 4 years of high school and I wanted to continue that here.
My name is Angelise Gerald. I am a freshman and I joined the Players because my friend Noah told me to. We did musical theater in high school and he was like, "Oh, you'll like this, we have fun." And I was like, "Okay," and that was it.
Okay, I'm Jess. I'm a junior and I joined the Players my spring semester freshman year with Drowsy Chaperone.
Megan Rose Cariotti. I'm a junior, and I first kind of heard about the Players from Jess Sansev, my love, my one true love. And then from there, I just kind of got exposed to this crazy group of people that have become like a family.
So I'm Olivia Berry. I am a freshman, and I joined the Players kind of not by accident. I've always done theater. Ended up being like the best decision ever, and I just felt like everyone was super welcoming.
Hello, my name is Devon Gabriel. I am a freshman, and I joined the Players because, so funny story, I was actually on the fence about even coming here, and at the time I was obsessed with Carrie the Musical, and I noticed that there was a poster for Carrie the Musical, and I was like, who would have thunk it? Like, I was like, this has to be some sort of like sign that like I have to come here, and then I did.
Brenna.
Brenna.
First time meeting her.
I met Brenna first time last year, possibly a relay. That long, treacherous 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. span of hours. I got to know Brenna better at Carrie, which I saw her there when she came to see the show, and then now for Grease working like for stage crew and stuff. I really got to know her, and I actually just talked to her a lot today. And I say Brenna's like a great individual, and I wish I had more time with her because she's like is an amazing individual.
Brenna.
So Brenna Crockwell, my favorite ginger on this campus. Thank you so much for agreeing to do the mics for Grease. I know it's really stressful and you have to scream at everyone sometimes, but really appreciative of what you do.
Brenna and I met through Speech Club because Laura had introduced us because they knew each other from study abroad and whatnot. And when Brenna and I met in audiology, it was like a bonding over stress, which all the deepest bonds come from stress and hatred.
So, Claire Jackson.
Yes, Claire Jackson. I have this one memory of the two of us at the Carrie cast party in the basement of this random house, and everyone was dancing in the really dark room, and Claire and I were standing in front of the fan, moving with it as it oscillated, and a song came on, so I started taking a video, and then I almost slipped and fell, and I think about it a lot.
The blood and figuring out all that stuff, how the mics and the stage crew for everything, you truly did an amazing job with it, you and Claire Brown, and I just think you're amazing, and don't think that we don't look for you.
First time meeting Taylor.
The first time I met Taylor, I think, was at the dance team tryout of fall 2018. I did not make the team. I don't think we spoke, I just remember seeing her there. But that was like the first time I think we actually met. And I'm really glad that she came out for Grease because like she contributes so much to the show, and I wish she had done the shows in the past. When I say come over and just say stupid things like during hand jive, we were just like I would pretend to be Sims. We both remembered that at the dance team tryout we had to do 16 pirouette turns. I think it was honestly like 48 pirouette turns in a row. And just no one could do it. So now at rehearsal, we'll just like do pirouette turns. I'm really happy that Taylor came out for the show. She's just so funny and kind and like just such like a wholesome presence to have there. I wish her the best of luck. I hope we stay in touch. You're really cool. You're super duper cool.
I met Taylor actually just probably a month ago or two, and I have to say that even though I've only known her for a little bit, I feel like I've known her. I wish I knew her longer, because Taylor, you're such like an amazing person, amazing dancer, by the way, incredible. Like, I wish we could like show you off more, but honestly, I love interacting with you during the prom scene as we bother Devon or we bother everyone on stage.
I see her and I'm like, oh, I haven't like seen her like ever, I think. Like, she looks cool. I love her hair. You seemed like cool. Funny moments. There was this one time, like multiple times, where I would just do like the dumbest things like on stage, and like you would just end up seeing them and like no one else, and you would like look at me like puzzled, and then you would like burst out laughing. Anyone who can laugh at my shitty like jokes is a great person in my eyes.
So the first time I met her was my Little Shop audition, and it was her and Erin who I was auditioning for. She was the choreographer for that show. So we were doing one practice, and she walked in. So my real first impression of her was, damn, that ass is fat. Which it was, I can't lie. And I recognized that she was a really, really great and funny person. Yeah, so I'd say my first impressions were all positive, obviously. There was a ton of shit at the beginning of last semester, because we were kind of, we were in that weird phase where we both liked each other, but nobody was saying anything, so we were just finding excuses to be around each other. She would have to laminate stuff for her speech clinic, and I would be like, oh, I'll help you laminate things. That was my excuse to spend time with her. Nothing I say is going to sound not corny when you're talking about your girlfriend in wholesome moments, but, there's wholesome shit all the time. That's why we're in a relationship. I'm almost certain that she's going to be very successful in what she's doing, because, she's very good at it, but also she cares a lot about it. Cares a lot about the deaf and special needs people who would need speech therapy. She's going to be super at whatever she's doing.
I met her, I believe Mamma Mia was the first time at rehearsal, and we got paired to be on the ground for Money, Money, Money. This whole movement thing, and we just always were laughing and a blast. Liana, I don't even have words to describe how much I love you. Even though I'm not a sorority, I do consider you a sister in a way, because I mean, people do think we look alike, which that's such a compliment to me because you're gorgeous. But I love you so much, and I'm so happy we're able to be dance co-captain together.
Liana is my she's my mother. She is one of my best friends. We met the first time we had a real conversation. We were in the Harry Potter room, and I was not interested in rushing. I just didn't know anything about it, and then we were just talking because I think she was in one of the little study rooms, and I was sitting at a long table, and then we were just talking, and she was like, "I really think you should rush. Meet everybody." And I was like, okay. Of course I chose DTV, and then right away I knew we just knew we were going to be Big and Little. There's no one else. It's not game over. Sorry.
And she just had such confidence that I wish that I could have. And she's so talented. Oh, so talented.
We get quesadillas often from La Penta, and then they completely messed up her order the other day. She asked for a chicken quesadilla with no tomato, so they gave her tomato and no chicken. And then the man just chopped up the chicken and threw it in, and she was like...
Kate Pierce.
First time meeting her.
Where else but Mamma Mia rehearsal? I saw Jess and Kate eating at the table, and I was bringing my food, and I was going to go back to my room because I was like, oh, I'll just go eat. And they were like, and Kate was like, you going to eat that by yourself in your room? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, come sit with us, you idiot. And I was like, okay. So I thought that was pretty funny because but also really heartwarming because it made me feel oh my God, I have friends. So yeah. Like Kate was just like recently Kate was like just kind of like in her bag just because like things were going on, and I was in her room and I was like, why are you sad? And she told me, and I was like, listen, it's going to get better, and just say fuck it and move on, because that's what strong women do. So I just gave her the biggest hug and I wiped her tears and I was like, listen, bitch, you are great, you are strong, you are powerful. You need to like pull yourself together because it's going to be okay. It is not the end of the world. Trust me. Trust me on this one. Kay Pierce, my final thoughts. I love you. You're great. And don't ever change, okay? Just be yourself. Be genuine. Because I love you for who you are, and I'm sure everyone else loves you for who you are as well.
She's just really sweet. She's really funny. I think she's also like really talented.
Honestly, Kate, when you're watching this, you're generally one of the sweetest persons I know, and you're beautiful inside and out. And it's going to be hard not having you next year, but thank you for welcoming me into the club and into your friend group. I will always remember that.
So, I met Kate Pierce in our English class. Yeah, and then I was really excited when I knew she was doing Grease and everything, just to continue that fun. But yeah, she's just like so sweet and so funny. Yeah, just has great energy all the time, so it's just nice to be around that.
And my first impression was like, oh, here's a person who's really anchoring this down. And that's something that did not go away throughout really like every show I've done with her. You know, she's always kind of this rock of a presence, you know. And I mean, going forward with player stuff, we talk about doing musicals that we're not going to have Jason and George for, that are going to be student directed, and this massive asterisk looms because, well, we don't have Laura anymore. Over GroupMe, I was trying to get at her that she was wrong about a geography thing, but it turns out I was wrong again. And then I ran into her in North, and she dropped a bunch of fruit on the ground, and I helped her pick it up. That was a nice interaction. It just happened like 2 days ago. I'm gonna fucking miss you, Laura. We're not gonna have a Laura replacement. She's so important. She's so fucking important to what we do. Like, her knowledge of the music and her being able to teach it to us, it's so important, and she's so good at it. And it's really gonna fucking suck when she's gone.
Just the way that she like held everyone's hands through the entire Carrie process was phenomenal, and it speaks so much to her character about how she cares for like other people so much. We were playing Piccolo, and all of a sudden, one of the prompts was, "Oh, Devon, go like tongue kiss Laura," and I was like, "What?" And then we do it, but it was like I was like going in, and then she was like half going in, and it was just like so awkward but hilarious at the same time.
What did I sing for Carrie?
Like-
I was Miss Gardner. She was the first memory I have of Laura is like her helping me through one of my songs, and I think I like messed up a note, but like I thought I messed it up, and she was like, "You sounded great," and I was like, "Oh, Laura's dope as fuck." And another one, someone else who just like makes me feel really good about myself.
She's very nice. She's very funny, and I think that the story she told about her time spent in France was really funny. And I guess it just spoke to like how nice she was at the first. Like, the story was crazy, but it kind of spoke to like how nice she is. That is like throughout the entire thing, she wasn't gonna be mean to anyone. So that was really cool. That was a funny moment.
So I know she's gonna make it out. I know she's gonna be really successful in her life. You can tell. And don't forget me.
Margaret. An amazing person. She, I don't know what to say. She honestly was like something like unreachable for me. It was definitely like I wanted to know her and I wanted to meet her, and I finally got the chance, and I'm so glad I did, you know?
We went to India together in January, and she and I were roommates, and the beds were literally made out of probably just wooden springs. And every night she would turn to me and say, "Good night, Jess," and then when she would roll over, it would just be like clink, 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 clink. And all night we would just hear the clinking of each other's beds. And it was so funny. And Margaret and I have gone like on a few drives and we just blast show tunes and we just like sing on the top of our lungs, especially when we have a lot going on in our lives, and it just kind of like takes away all the hard stuff for a little. And she has a way of just like making me forget all like the really difficult things, and I don't really know how she does it, but she can expect a lot of texts and calls from me next year.
You're just an all-around funny woman. Like, you're literally, like, just the way that you can, like, take a joke and, like, run with it, and, like, it's automatically funny because it's, like, your joke is, like, it's remarkable to me. Like, I literally have so much respect for people who are, like, never unfunny. Whenever we're, like, backstage and we're, like, undressing and we would just, like, joke around with each other, it's literally, like, hilarious.
And I feel like at Relay I got to know her on a deeper level and realize how much of a strong woman she is. And then obviously now at Grease, I love her to death. She brightens up my day. And Margaret, I truly think you're amazing.
I think the first time we really like started interacting with each other was at the Montgomery house, and we were talking about something. I think that was just like the first time I really started talking to Margaret, and I'm like, wait, she's a really cool chick. And then I went on Kairos in the fall, and she was like the assistant director for the trip. And I just got like super close with her from that point. So she's so funny.
Moments that like really stand out
So
to
we
you.
were having, the other day we were having a farting contest. Oh my God.
I remember this.
It was like in between Freddie My Love and I think it was like, yeah, it was like around that point.
Yeah.
So we're standing there just like listening to each other fart, but it was mostly just me farting, her listening to me fart. At one point she was like, wait, I have to go. And I was like, wait, me too. So then I thought she was going to fart and she thought I was going to fart, so we stood there like this listening to each other, but neither of us were farting. So we stood there for like 10 seconds like, are you going? And she's like, I thought you were going.
So
Silence.
Yes, Devon.
Jessica DeSimplicis.
Yes, Jess. I know Jess.
First time meeting her. What was the thought process?
It was definitely at rehearsal. You know, you're always so sweet to me, and we really clicked, and you know, we became really good friends.
Any funny moments that you shared with her?
Funny moments. There are a lot of funny moments between me and you, Jess. But I think one of the funnier moments is at my house when we went outside with Brendo and Seamus. Devon, you weren't there. It was Noah. I think we smoked like 2 joints, and we got so baked, and then we went upstairs, and you decided to bring out your pen, and I got absolutely cross and started throwing up like crazy that night. So thank you. Yes.
Any good moments with her?
There are a lot of great moments with you, Jess. You know, there's just so many. I can't like pick one.
Any emotional moments with her?
I think
Any,
I think Burks was a great time, and I think that, and you know, I'm excited where our friendship goes past college.
Carrie rehearsals, obviously, because Carrie was my first show here at Iona and the only other show besides Grease that I've been in. Really thankful for the experience. She is, well, let me start over. Rehearsal, she was one of the few people that, like, came up to me, and Meg Sweeney, love you girl, she came up to us and just made us feel, like, super included, and, like, she noticed if we were feeling awkward and just, like, made us feel like we were part of the group just as much as everyone else. And as a freshman, that made me feel pretty included in this great group of people. So I'm very thankful for that.
I met Jess at Carrie, and I'm really happy she tried out, and we became really good friends. And honestly, now I think of her as an older sister, and I can't imagine the players without her. And I hope that we still continue to be as good friends as we are, and I want to thank her for introducing me to all these new amazing people and how I want to let you know, Jess, how extremely talented you are. And even though Devon thinks we are sisters, which is a great compliment, I do think we are. And I truly love you, and I want to see what your future holds.
She's an amazing person. I'm not worried in the slightest about what she's going to do in the future. She has a good head on her shoulders, and yeah, like whatever she does, I know that she's gonna kill it.
She taught me TikTok dances drunk in her room at 3 a.m. one time. And it was a great time because I messed up constantly, and like her and all her roommates, we just learned TikTok dances, and that was nice. Talking to her makes me feel safe. Like when I tell her things, I know that it'll stay between us and she won't judge me or make me feel like whatever I'm feeling is wrong, and like I have a right to feel the way I feel about certain things, and like I can talk to her about anything. And like she also can talk to me about anything, and I think she knows that. I hope she knows that. But like there are times where I go in her room and like we just sit and talk for hours, like just cuz. She made me feel very welcome, like off the bat. So that was really nice.
I think one of the funniest moments that MK that I see that I've had with MK was literally anytime she tries to do like acrobatic stuff. Like I remember one time like Jason did the somersault, right? And so MK tried to do it, and she just went. Whenever she just walks in the room, I'm just like, oh hey man, she's like, oh hey, what's up man, how you doing? Like just that interaction alone, just like I don't know, just makes me happy. Just anytime I like say hi to MK, like that's like those are just always the good moments.
And like when she comes into a room, you know, it's cliche, but it's true. She, you know, everybody just like the attention is on her, and like we're okay with that. It's not like MK's here, you know. It's like MK's here finally, you know. Carrie Cast Party. My brother's a drag queen, and I guess she hasn't seen him in drag yet, and I invited him to our cast party, and MK comes in with just a black dress, just the shark face, you know, with little lights in it, and she's got like this bright red lipstick. That's her go-to. And she comes in and goes up to Amber, my brother's drag name, and is like, what are you supposed to be dressed up as? And Amber's like, oh! And she didn't realize that it was Amber. She thought it was Seamus. And then by the end of the night, her and my brother are just, like, they kept talking the entire night. And, like, my brother's a character and MK's a character, so both of them, like, together. I was dying laughing. Everybody, like, the vibes were just at an all-time high, and, like, just, like, seeing her... Oh, she also put herself in, like, this weird, like, corner, and she was like... like a weird witch in the, like, you know, in the corner with a little shark thing. But, yeah, again, there's never a time where I'm, like, you know, not, like, amused by her, or she's, like, not laughing or making other people laugh, you know. So that was... The Carrie Cast Party was probably the, like, best for me.
She is an amazing actress. She is a wonderful singer. You could literally put MK on a stage with herself and she would sell out shows, and I'm not exaggerating. Knows how to play the drums, she knows how to play the guitar, she can sing, she can dance, she can act, she's funny, she can do improv. Like, name one thing that MK can't do, and then she'll do it in, like, 2 minutes flat. And I know that I say this all the time to, like, the most random people, but MK literally reminds me of, like, Kate McKinnon. Like, I would absolutely attribute everything that, like, she does to Kate McKinnon. She's just that funny.
The first time I met MK, we were in The Drowsy Chaperone, which is the first musical I ever did. I was a freshman, and we were sopranos together because we both sing high note, right? So George put me and MK on the high note, and it was a high one. It was a high little booger, and we, you know, I'm like thinking like, okay, at least like I got this girl to back me up if I'm cracking, whatever, it's fine. She dropped out the next day, and I was on that high note by myself. Follow-up story, a month later, I'm in Beachmont Taverna, and all of a sudden everyone's like, clear the floor, but this is when Beachmont was a thing. You guys remember. And this girl is on the floor doing the worm.
First time I met MK, I was taken back by how energetic she was. I was like, damn, this is like the epitome of a theater kid type of thing. But like that's what makes you you, and like that's so awesome. And I think, you know, even though I've only been here about a year now, not even like a couple months, we've really got to know each other pretty well. And I'm still in your room, so thanks for that.
First time meeting her?
You know, I don't remember, which I think is really fitting, you know, because like one day she wasn't there in my life, and then one day she was, and boy, what a force, you know. It's kind of like I don't remember ever meeting you, but I know that one day I did, and you've been just this active emitter of pure chaos in it ever since. I think it's super appropriate that I do not remember my friend. I might have been blackout. I probably was.
So Brian Connors.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first meet him?
I don't really know when I first met him because he's one of those players adjacent people that you just know of, like the legend of Brian Connors from the swim team. Like his reputation precedes him. I knew of him before I knew him actually. It wasn't until we took Moretti together last semester for Shakespeare that I really like started to be like friends with him and get to know the man, the myth, the legend. Morning mimosas, which just happened this past Sunday, where we just drank mimosas all day. Just chatting with him backstage. Like, he's off stage for a majority of the show, so we just chat and dance and everything. It's a lot of fun. And he's just such a joy to be around. Every time I see him, like, my day is made so much brighter, and he's gonna kill it at his new job. Can't wait to see what he does.
Hi, Brian. You're really dope, and I think you're really cool, and I'm really very sorry that I thought your name was Ryan until, like, the day before opening night. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But now I know it's Brian, so it's okay.
Brian Connors, the skinny legend himself. And I still remember popping off with you and Sydney and some of the IKO girls in the end zone and us doing our strutting to a Fergalicious like we did today at rehearsal. I just wanted to shout you out and say how I love you so much, and you're such a amazing individual, and I know that you have your job for next year, so you're all ready to go, and you're going to do great things and keep being your amazing self.
I met him the same way I met Eddie. It was in the 4M room, and it was, I think, right before Mamma Mia. Like we were going to perform it, or we just were listening to Voulez-Vous, right? And as the night progressed, Eddie was naked in the corner. So he was kind of like out of commission. But Brian, another energy, just a ball of energy, comes up on the table, just some random wooden table in 4M, and it's just like, just starts like jumping and like singing Voulez-Vous, and then for some reason it made me go up on the table. Then it got Liana on the table, Annie on the table. Eddie like arose from his grave and then like ran to the table. Everybody was just stomping on the table, and then he started screaming, 6 people on a table, 6 people on a table, and we were just all like, oh, okay, this is cool, yeah, let's just start chanting 6 people on the table. And so we just started doing that, and then he jumped off. He's kind of just like leading us, like he knew Mamma Mia, like he was the director of our little tiny show that night. And we started like taking hands and doing Voulez-Vous, and the Voulez-Vous felt like 2 hours. I was sweating, I was dying, and halfway through, and then like at the end of it, when I just wanted to sit down, he was like, all right, let's play a game, let's keep, let's go play beer pong, let's go, do more shit, and he was just like, again, like a ball of energy.
We bonded over the trials and the trials and travails, the trials and travails of orientation last summer.
Yep.
And we became super close after playing Keeping It Real, this horrible board game that makes everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Made a new little friend group called Voop Voop, and we often text like things about being like, you know, skinny legends, and like we're literally invisible. Like, he's the most invisible person I've ever seen. Haven't seen. I've never seen him. I don't even know him. I've never seen him before.
We didn't meet, but the first time I ever saw Brian was the first party, like the first day of last semester. I don't know what made me look at him, but all I saw was Brian walk up to some girl, talk to her, and next thing you know, they made out. I was like, this is college.
So, Christopher Ryan.
Christopher Ryan. I actually talked to her, but like actually knowing Krista, I guess we got, like, actually know her like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, whenever they had that party at Brendo's. Funny moment. I don't know why this made me laugh so hard. When she put the ice cube down her panties, I found it funny as hell because I didn't think she was gonna do it, and she was like,
she's like, okay, I'll do it.
She's like, okay, why not?
The key change in a simple sponge. No, I'm not a simple sponge. That's it. That's the moment. That's the moment. No, but I would say any of the cast bonding moments that we had in her room were just so fun. When we did the like couples therapy for Carrie, that was a great time.
You and me and Berks, I think it was like Halloween, and I don't know how you did it, but you had got the bartender to just serve us beer out of the whole open bar, and you just kept passing. I just kept chugging, and I got very fucked up that night.
I think literally every day I see her at friggin' rehearsal, I at least get one hug from Krista Ryan, and that just makes my day. 100%. I love getting hugs from Krista Ryan. I love Krista Ryan to death. Literally anytime I see her on campus, like, just does bring a smile to my face.
Krista Ryan.
Are you carbon?
Never. When am I ever?
Emotion.
I'm like, Krista, you dumb bitch. Don't graduate. You're getting left back. Fucking stupid ass. Your thesis was a 0. You have to stay here and redo it.
Alright.
Oh, what can I say about that little rat bitch? It's like, Krista, the best thing about her is that she's balanced between, like, funny and emotional. Like, we can have, like, banter and just be going back and forth about the funniest shit, and then, like, 3 minutes later she's like making me cry over something she said or something like that, and it's so wholesome and like fulfilling to have a friend like that you can also, you know, goof around and joke with, but at the same time like be serious and be helpful and caring like that.
The birthday party at Brendo's room, and we were like all there, and then you were like, oh, I have to go because I have like RA duties. I'm like, aw, shucks, that's horrible. And then right after, like, you left, I was like, wow, like, I really miss Krista. And this was like right after, we were playing the fucking Wizard of Oz porno. I was with Deirdre. We were bothering Jess Sand at the front desk of Loftus. And we were like, you know, it would be so crazy if we just like popped in on, you know, on Krista, like just to see her. So we traveled to Canese. We go to your room, and Liz comes, and we just like talk shit about Res Life, Iona, their anti-marijuana mission shit. It was just so funny, but yet endearing that, like, you know, I could be like a part of that, even if I'm like a freshman or whatever.
Like, I think one of her strong suits is from me like observing her is like her leadership quality. I think she's a very dutiful leader, and it's gonna take her like miles ahead in life. And she's pretty attractive. Can I say that? No? Don't need to leave.
Became so close. Definitely this school year we became super close. I think, you know, we live like a room away from each other, and like I just knock on her door and she's making like pasta and pesto at like 2:30 in the morning. and I'll just go in and rant, or like we'll just laugh about stupid things. And she appreciates Katz and Joseph and Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it's really just, it's fun to goof off with Krista, and I'm really sad that, you know, we got so close so late, and like now she's leaving. But I'm happy that she's moving on to bigger and better. But she's definitely key, like just an asset to this club, and makes everybody feel good.
But overall, I feel like every time I'm with Krista, we're always laughing, and like she's like a big sister I never had. I know a lot of people probably have said that, but it's true though, because I have an older brother, but like Krista's that figure I would go to for everything.
You know, I'm not someone who's particularly, you know, I'm not one for sentimentalities. I'm not one who's particularly vulnerable. But Krista's just such a sweet, caring figure that when I do have my moments where I feel like I just kind of need to spew my shit, she tends to be one of those people for me. You know, she's very, very genuine, and she's very, very kind. She has a good heart. Yeah.
Eddie Rose.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Tell me. Eddie Rose.
So the first time I met Eddie Rose was when I walked into Mamma Mia auditions, and there were a couple people there, but I saw Eddie was there, like, running the whole thing, and I thought to myself, no offense, well, shit, this is going to be the kid who goes, I get the lead every time, because I'm running the show right now. That's what I thought of Eddie when I first saw him. I have a completely different opinion about Eddie right now. The time where we went to go get our haircut for the Carrie show, and Eddie was on the phone with his mother, and I shit you not, this is the exact quote. His mom said, would you want to go get brunch? After? And then he goes, Mom, don't say brunch unless it entails mimosas. Period. That was the quote. That was what Eddie said in the car. And honestly, I had such a fun time. Then we picked up Olivia Berry, and we went to the pop-up Halloween store to get costumes for the cast party the next night. And I gotta tell you, that was like one of the best moments I've had with Eddie.
But I think the first time I ever actually met him was I went to his room in Eastchester, 4M. There was Annie, a bunch of alumni, Brian, Liana, all of us. But Eddie was the loudest and probably the most flamboyant you'll ever see. It was just, I was just blown away because high school was never like that, you know? So coming into college, I knew it was going to be crazy, but we started hanging out during that night, and as the night progressed, every hour Eddie would take an item of clothing off. So it'd be like a sock, be like pants, and then it'd be a shirt. And then he was naked. He was naked at 12 a.m.
The first time I ever met Eddie was during Drowsy Shop, which was another chaotic moment in my life. Probably the start of Eddie and I's chaotic relationship. And I just remembered he filled in for Gino, which is simultaneously my funny story. And just watching him do this, I don't know why I very distinctly remember that, but it's very funny.
Even today in the car going to Costco, and he's trying to sign to me or mouth to me because he's on vocal rest and saying CVS, and I'm like, what are you saying? So I'm every second I feel from cast parties to just hanging out in your room, the vortex, because you never know when you're escaping. It's just always an eventful time with him.
Edward Rosenberger. Funny moments with Edison. That one of the most vivid memories that I had with him was at Aiden's first house party. For the last quarter of the night, Eddie was tending to Jack, who was violently throwing up in the bathroom, and all that I could see as I was going to use the bathroom, and I couldn't go because obviously Jack's head was neck deep in the toilet. All I see is Eddie with Milo, Aiden's cat, and taking the most pictures with him, and putting the cat on Jack, putting the cat on himself, like laying down with the cat, playing with the cat, and not even really tending to Jack. He was just there. Basically, he was in the same space, but just with Milo. And I was like, wow, that's really crazy. Probably the entirety of the Poconos. Like, I just remember the first night I was, like, you know, perusing through the house. I was, like, a tall boy and, like, a tall boy and, like, a couple shots in. And then it was, like, 11 and everyone was dying. And then I was just going through the house, like, minding my own business. And then I just see Eddie go into the bathroom after, like, taking off all of his articles of clothing and then pulling Trig in front of, like, 3 other people. And then as soon as he finishes pulling Trig, he bounces right back up and he continues to jump around the house. And then he, like, passes out somewhere. I forget where. After we took the trip to, like, the frozen lake, we sit down and we like play like a lot of like circle games and we're like, you know, like ha ha ha. And all of a sudden Eddie goes under the table and like we're like, oh, like what is he doing? Like what's the end game? And then he pops his head out and then all he says is, hey guys, I think you should start drinking. And then just kind of slowly goes back under the table. And then that's how that night happens.
Every time Eddie is around, it's just, you know, crackhead energy at all times. At all times. And I don't know how you keep that up. I have no idea how he keeps that up. I have no clue. But I commend him for it. Because he's like, not to say the life of the party all the time, which he is. But it's like, he's very good at, even if someone's in a bad mood or someone isn't feeling, you know, too hot, Eddie comes around and it's like, okay, Eddie's here, Eddie's gonna make me laugh, and I'll be okay. I credit Eddie to a confidence growth that I've had over the year, because Eddie will never miss an opportunity to compliment me or, like, make me feel good about myself. You know? It's very nice. I'm very appreciative of it.
Oh, Mr. Rose, where do I begin? One fun time that we had that was just so wholesome, we had a day. We were practicing the death scene in Carrie, me, him, and Elizabeth, and then we were like, you guys want to, like, have a day? And then we were just listening to all the mega mixes that were literally ever created, and we were vibing to all show tunes, like, just for, like, a couple hours. It was really fun, and then we went to one of the day parties, like, Darty,
The
wherever.
Darties.
Yeah. And someone came up to Eddie with a DAT pen, I think, and they were like, oh, do you want to try? And Eddie goes, I have asthma, but okay. And then he was zooted for the rest of the day. Without Eddie, a lot of these things that we do wouldn't be possible. I think that he really just goes above and beyond. Truly goes above and beyond for everything. I don't think he slept for more than 4 hours the tech week of Carrie. I want to thank him for casting me as Norma, because truly that's who I am, and he knows that. It's like rare to find people who, like, you know, there's people that are like, yeah, do it for fun and it's fun, but like without the students, this club would literally be nothing, and no one would come and see our productions or care. And he really just like boosts everybody up and almost like made our presence more known here. And I just thank him for that, because I feel like we are important and he is important, and I am so like sad that he's leaving, but he's really gonna do great things, and I hope he continues theater.
So there was one night that we had cast bonding together in Krista's room, and we watched the Carrie episode of Riverdale, and then we watched a little bit of the Heathers episode, and then everyone kind of like started leaving and stuff, and you know, after a while it was just me, Olivia, Barry, Eddie and Krista, and we were all just like really drunk and just like having fun, and out of nowhere we were just talking, and Eddie stood up on the coffee table and was like, "Do you guys want to see my tattoo?" and then pulled down his pants. And at that point I probably talked to Eddie for all of 3 hours in total. So that was a really great experience, seeing someone's butt tattoo after 3 hours knowing them. So.
You know, Eddie like really encouraged me. He was like, "Hey, I know you've never done theater before. You know, really go for it." And you know, I really enjoyed Carrie. But I guess the real introduction to Edward was when he came to one of our darties for rugby. Edward, you got so drunk and so high, you forced me to go into a group of girls and singled out Angel, even though we had never met each other before. So I just barged into him and went, "Hi, Angel, I'm Aiden." And you looked there and you laughed.
Aww.
Hey, but now we're best friends, so it worked out.
That's so cute.
There's so much I could say about Edward, from him passing out in Burks in a pickle costume, to him passing out in my bathroom with my cat. Hashtag we love Milo. The best memory would be when you gave me a great call on a random Saturday morning at 11, and you said, "Burke's brunch, let's do it." And we spent 4 hours, and we got bottomless mimosas. I think we drank like 14 pitchers between me, you, Peter, Andrew. And yeah, then we went back out that night and got absolutely hammered in Keaton's. So yeah.
My first time meeting Eddie was also Little Shop auditions. We didn't speak to each other. I just remember I was like, "Hey, that's a guy who's here." My second time meeting Eddie, I was walking down the sidewalk and he walked past me and he went, "Hi," and I went, "Hi back." And then my third time meeting Eddie I was in his room. He was getting his asshole waxed by Kelly Farrell. So it kind of went, you know, bump, bump, bump. We were drunk wrestling in September. He was trying to shove a pair of dirty underpants in my mouth, and I tried to run away and broke my foot. Being up at his place over the summer for Beer Olympics, and Brendan getting too trashed and literally face planting into his living room. I think he was the one that brought eggs to Players Field Day last year, and he just started cracking them on me. So I had this black Heineken t-shirt that was just covered in egg yolk. Every time he gets naked, just for no reason, you know, all that shit, all that Eddie shit. I think every time we get together to do something creative with each other, I think we're very like-minded in that we can kind of be perfectionists with stuff that we care about and stuff that we're trying to put out there. You know, doing skit writing together and just being in the Players together in general. You know, I think both of us can kind of be these crazy people who really want what they're doing to be perfect. And I think that's why, you know, we get along. We're psychotic about the same shit. So every time we're talking about musicals or comedy or whatever, even when we disagree, which happens literally all the time, you know, it's just nice to have someone else who I can talk to about that shit without them thinking that I'm manic. Eddie's gonna be fine, you know? I mean, thinking about... I can't even picture what he's gonna do after this. I know he's going to law school, but like, Eddie's always gonna be fine. You know, Eddie just has that magnetism to him that's always gonna draw people to him, and I think he's gonna have that for the rest of his life. I mean, he's such a character, and he looms so large. I'm glad to have known him, you know, and we can bicker like cats and dogs, but you know, I love him. He's gonna do fine.
I don't know, I feel like every time I interact with Eddie, there's like a good moment. Like, I really think he's like a really funny guy. He's a really fun guy to hang out with. It's been really cool since he was on Vocal Rest, being able to charade with him. I feel like I'm starting to like understand Eddie in a different way. So I'm like getting better at the charade things. Honestly, if he was on Vocal Rest for another week, I think I'd be able to translate a bit more. 'Cause I'm starting to get it quicker. So yeah, I just think that he's one of those people that like you want to get to have a connection with as well, and it's a cool dude. When Eddie like announced that he got into law school, it's one of those things where you know, everyone's like really excited because I'm sure they know how hard he worked for it, and I didn't know that he applied to law school, but I wasn't surprised that he had gotten in because he seemed like someone that's just really focused and really dedicated on what he loves, and I think he's just done a wonderful job, you know, making the Players seem like a family. and at least for me this past semester, I've really appreciated how much Eddie's tried to just bond with everyone there and try to make everyone feel good about themselves. So thanks, Eddie.
Eddie Rose.
Eddie Rose.
Edison Rosenberg.
Eddie Rosenberger III, son of Mark Rose. He's another one that I didn't really talk to him, but like I knew of him, and I spent like most of freshman year being intimidated by him. I don't think we really became friends until doing Carrie. He came up to me at senior send-off last year very drunk and asked me to do the lights for Carrie, and I was like, that's crazy because I've actually never done lights. He later meant sound and microphones and everything. He was just, 48 drinks deep. Yeah, we really didn't become friends until like after Carrie had ended. We just clicked. I think it was at Burke's. The pickle costume really.
It really did it.
It really did it. Pieing him at the Carrie cast party was one of the funniest moments of my entire life. It's just every time with Eddie, it's like a fucking serotonin boost. It's just so fun. He's one of the funniest people I know, and yeah, just any social setting with Eddie and a drink in his hand is bound to make a good, like, funny memory. I was having boy troubles last semester, and he took me to Silky's, and he gave me the best pep talk I've ever had. Really meant a lot to me. Eddie, we're gonna have a big hole in our hearts when you're gone, bro. Like, what are we gonna do without you? You've been, like, the driving force behind the players for the past 3 years, 4 years, let's be honest, before I even got here, and it's gonna be hard, man, without you.
I went into this group hoping to, like, make some friends, but, instead I think we really just became a family, and I found a family in you guys, and, if you think for a second that you're getting rid of us, that's false. I expect to see every one of your faces on the next Poconos trip. And yeah, I love you guys.
I just have a general message for all the seniors. I kind of just want to thank you for everything you've taught me. You've taught me how important friendship is and what it really means. You've taught me how far a little bit of support can get you. And you've taught me that family isn't always blood.
Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. I'm like, I have to go back to North now.